So today I want to show you how to use Venmo. This will be a complete guide to the Venmo app. I'm going to take you through all the different settings and making sure that you know how to use the app in its entirety. Now, while we go through this video here today, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so we can continue to provide free content just like this. Now, of course, a quick overview is that Venmo is a peer-to-peer transfer app where you can send money to friends and family and now even businesses as well. Now, the first thing we're going to want to do is actually go ahead and add a bank or card to Venmo. Now, we're of course on the main page of Venmo right over here. And what we want to do is go to the me section on the bottom right hand side. So you can see it currently has our profile on here. So if we click, it's going to take us to a page that looks just like this. So we're going to hit the gear shift that is on the very top right hand corner of our app right over here. And then from this section right over here, we're going to go ahead and slide down where you can see it says payment method. So we click on here. And from this section, we're going to be able to go ahead and add a bank or card. Now there's a few stipulations to this. So let's make sure we go over it. First, you can go ahead and add a bank for no fee for sending or online purchases. You can go ahead and add a card. You can see here, it does say that we charge a 3% fee for sending money with a credit card, but we don't charge for purchases with a debit card. So this is something to keep in mind. If you're going to add a credit card on there, there is going to be some extra fees. Now they do also have this extra section here that's not going to apply to everybody, but if you have an Amex spend account, you can actually connect that over here as well, and it'll work similar to a bank or a card. Now, if you go ahead and add a bank section, if you click on here for the instant bank verification, they're going to be able to use Plaid to instantly connect your bank accounts. Now, if you do not want to use Plaid, you can go ahead and verify your bank manually instead, but that will take a couple of days to go through. Now, if we go back here, we can go to our card section. Now from here, you can see it's going to ask you for the card number, expiration, security code, and the zip code, and then you can go ahead and add the card. You can also take a photo of your card to save time from typing in all those numbers. And then the last option right over here, it's going to be the Amex spend account. If you click here, it's going to ask you to go ahead and open up the American Express app so you can agree and connect on that if you do have an American Express spend account. Now you can definitely add multiple cards as well as multiple banks to make it easier for you and have different accounts to be able to pull from or send money to. All right, so once we went ahead and added our payment method, whether it was from a bank or a card, we're going to go ahead and go to the back button right over here. And we're going to go hit back one last time and go to our main page right over here. Now we want to go ahead and add money to our account. So what we can actually go ahead and do is go over here where you see Venmo balance. We currently have $8 in here. Yours might be 0 at the time. We're going to go ahead and click on manage. And you're going to see an option here that says add money. So we're going to click on here. And from here, you can see we can do instantly $500 per week. And then if we want larger amounts, it can take anywhere from 3 to 5 days. So we're going to go ahead and do instant for our example here. And of course we have $0 right now, but they have a few denominations already predetermined for you, but you can go ahead and even just put in like $2.50 if you really wanted to. Click on next, and it's going to tell you which bank you currently have on file to be able to pull from. Now, if you wanted to, you could just tap over here and change to a different account if you wanted to, and then you can click on add now. So we're actually going to go back to the original account there and click on add now. And just like that, you saw that our Venmo balance just went up to $10.50. So that $2.50 is already added to our account. Now, sometimes it will take a few days for that money to be pulled from your regular bank account. So just something to keep in mind. It's not always going to be instant for you. So make sure that balance is available from the bank or card that you have pulled from. So now I want to show you how to send money to friends and family on Venmo. Now we're here currently on the Me tab of our Venmo account where we can see our balance. Typically you will start on the home page of the app. So you're going to have a page that looks just like this. Now what we actually want to do is click the pay/request on our Venmo, which is going to be right here at the very center. So once we tap on here, it is going to have a page that looks just like this, where at the very top, it's going to ask you to type in a name, username, email, or phone number. You can also scan or show a QR code, which will make things a little bit faster if you're in person. Now here you can see there's going to be top people. These are typically people that you've already sent money to, but if you haven't sent it to anybody yet, all you got to do is go ahead and start typing in that information, again, either by name, username, email, or phone number. Hopefully they have a picture for additional verification on there. But what we're going to do is go ahead and type in a person's name and then go to the next screen. So once we typed in the person's name here, it did populate with some different people, but we found the person that we wanted to send the money to. So we're going to tap on their name. So from here, it's going to show you their photo and their name, as well as this little plus sign. So something to keep in mind, you can go ahead and actually split the amount of money you need to send to people all at once instead of doing everybody's account individually. So from here, you can see it's going to ask you how much you want to send. For this example, we're going to go ahead and do $5.50. And then it's going to ask you what this is for. So you can go ahead and type in anything you want. And then for our example, YouTube video. and then you can click on pay. There's also this little box right over here. If you actually click on here, what this is going to show you is different options if you want to go ahead and do a gift wrap. We're not going to go ahead and do that for our example here today. So we're going to click on the back button. So now we're back here. We can go ahead and click on the pay button. Now here on this page, you're going to see a couple pieces of information, things that we do want to keep in mind. So first and foremost is privacy. If we see this right here, we're currently set to private. If you tap over, you're going to see different options. You can have it public, friends, or private, which is our default. And this is going to be where people can actually see you sending money to other people. If you don't want that, you can leave it at private if that's what you're currently at. If you don't mind, you can hit public or even have friends, and you can see the differences between those. Now the next spot here, you can see it says Venmo and then the balance. If you don't actually even want to use your Venmo balance, you can see the different options here, but because we're sending an amount that is exactly under our Venmo balance, it's just going to have us go through there, but you can actually choose from other accounts if needed. And then right over here, you're going to see where it says turn on for purchases. If you are buying from somebody else, there is going to be a fee for the seller. So something to keep in mind, this is usually for buying something from another person and needing to have additional protection, but that person should know that they are being charged that fee. So let them know, or if it's a business, it will automatically do that for you. Now, if everything looks good here, we're going to click on the pay button down at the bottom. And just like that, you can see right over here, we ended up paying the person that we sent the money to. Our Venmo account balance went down right away since we sent that money. And since this is on private, it's only for the person and myself to see, but they can actually heart and comment on this post. So that way you can, get notified that they received it if you needed extra verification or anything else they wanted to let you know after having received that money. All right, so now that we've sent money, let's go ahead and show you how to receive money if you are needing to actually get money from another person. So we're actually going to go back to the pay/request section right over here on the Venmo app. So from this page here, you can go ahead and type in the person that you're wanting to request money from by their name, username, email, or even their phone number. And if you're actually next to them, you can go ahead and scan their QR code or even have them scan yours. But from right over here, we're going to type in the person's name, and then we're going to see their information pop up here on the side, and we're going to click on that. All right, so once I clicked on the person's name, you're going to see their profile pop up, their actual name here, and then you're going to want to go ahead and type in the denomination. You can also even add additional people here as well. So if you're splitting a bill with everybody and they all have to send you money for the exact same amount, you can go ahead and just add them right there. So for this example, we're just going to actually do 50 cents for the request. You can go ahead and type in whatever reason you need. So for this example, we're going to do YouTube video, and then we're going to go ahead and hover over this request and click on that. And from here, it is just going to ask you for verification on everything. But what we want to do, I had to move that little dot there. You can see the privacy is currently set to private. So if you click on here, you can actually have it go public, see only friends and family, or have private. So if you don't want it to go up on that feed for anybody at all, private is the way to go. If you just want friends and family to see that, you have there. And then public is for every person in the world to see. But we're going to keep ours at private here, and we're going to click on request. Now, once we put in that request, if you want to check on it and maybe even cancel it, what we can do is go to the me section here at the bottom right-hand side. And from here, we can actually see that we're currently in our wallet, but we can switch over to transactions. Now, from here, you can see your pending requests, and you can see right down here, you can actually cancel it, or you can even send that person a reminder if they have not yet sent you the money. Okay, so we now want to go ahead and learn how to withdraw our money from the Venmo account. So what we want to do is actually click on our me profile on the bottom right hand side of the screen. And from right over here, we can see our Venmo balance, and we want to click this manage button right over here that is in blue. It's going to bring up these additional options, and we want to click on transfer to bank. So we're going to click here. Now we have a couple options, so we want to go over them. First and foremost, at the top, you can go ahead and put how much you have in your account, or if you wanted to, you can, even break this down to, like, let's say $1.50 or whatever amount you want to transfer over. We're going to just put the $5 here. Now, the next thing down here, you're going to see two different options. One is with instant and another is with 1 to 3 business days. Now, the 1 to 3 business days is entirely free, doesn't cost you anything. And this actually typically ends up being on the 1 business day side. But then there's this instant option here as well. Now, instant doesn't actually always mean instant. It does say down here that it can take up to 30 minutes, and there is going to be a fee. Now, this shows 25 cents, but it is actually based off the amount that you're transferring up to a certain amount, which I believe is going to be over $25, maybe more, but just something to keep in mind. So the more you're transferring out faster, the more expensive it's going to get for you. Now, whether you go with the instant or the 1 to 3 business days, you're going to be able to choose which account you want to transfer to. So if we click on here, you're You're going to see all the different options you have. If you have a new one you want to add, you can go ahead and add it right here too. Or if you need to toggle over between the different accounts that you have on file, you can go ahead and do that as well. Once everything looks good, whether you chose the instant or the 1 to 3 business days and the correct bank account, you can click on transfer to bank, and you can see that transfer is initiated and gonna get sent over to the bank that you have on file, again in 1 to 3 business days, or that instant transfer with an additional fee. So we're here on the main page of our Venmo account, and what we actually want to do is go ahead and remove either a bank or card that we have on file with Venmo. So we're going to actually scroll down here to the Me section of Venmo. And from this page right over here, you're going to see some information for you. And there's going to be a section that says Bank and Cards. And you can actually see some of your cards, whether it's the actual Venmo debit card or any banks you have on file. So if we actually scroll down just a little bit to these cards and then kind of slide through to the bank or card that we do not want anymore, all we actually have to do is tap on that card, and it's going to bring up this information, and down here you can actually see where it says remove. So from this page right over here, you can actually see the remove button. So we're going to tap over here, and it's going to just verify that you want to go ahead and remove this bank. Click on remove. And just like that, our bank account on Venmo has been removed. Now, after you have removed a bank or card from Venmo, if you wanted to go ahead and add a new one, you can just slide through from that section over here. You can see you can add a bank or card to replace the one you just removed. We want to go ahead and actually change up our Venmo profile. So if we go to the bottom section down here, you can see where it says Me Profile. If we tap over here, it's going to bring up your overall account, and we're going to go ahead and jump over to the top right of the screen here. And from this section here, you can actually see where it says Account, and we're going to just go ahead and tap over here. And now you're going to see a section that says Profile. So we're tapping over on this section. Now from our profile, we can go ahead and update our picture or add one. I highly recommend it if you don't already have one. It makes it easier for friends and family. Go ahead and you can see your first and last name. You can actually change your username from here, as well as you can change your email address. You can see right over here, you can only be paid using your username, email, or phone number. So once everything looks good and you made any changes, you can click on the save button and you are all good to go when it comes to updating your Venmo profile. I want to show you how to add a phone number to your Venmo account. We want to click the Me profile in the bottom right hand side here. And from this section here, we're going to be in our main account. We're going to click on the gear shift icon right here in the top right. And then from this section here, you're going to see preferences, and the very first option says accounts. And of course, you're going to see right here where it says phone number. We're going to tap over. And from here, you're going to type in the phone number that you want associated with your Venmo account, keeping in mind that it will send you a text to verify that phone number. And once everything is sent over, that phone number will be attached to your Venmo and people can find your account through that phone number. So now what we want to do is talk about the Venmo cards. Now our Venmo cards are going to be over here on the bottom section of the app itself. And so we're going to tap over here and we're going to see that there are different Venmo cards. And what we want to talk about here today is the Venmo debit card and all the benefits and features that it has. So you can see right over here, our current balance with Venmo is 0. And that's actually what we currently have available to spend with our Venmo debit card. Now, anything that you have in your Venmo account will automatically be available to use on this Venmo debit card. So it's just something to keep in mind. You can see that this is going to be a MasterCard itself, and this will be a full-fledged account where you can use it either in stores or online. And you do get a physical card that can be delivered directly to your home. It does have the chip feature as well, so just something to keep in mind on there. And then they do have debit card offers where you can shop and actually earn cash back, similar to like other versions of cards that offer this, whether it's with credit cards or even other debit cards. So what we could do is actually tap over here on the little icon here so we can see some information on our card. So first and foremost, we're actually ordering a new card because ours just expired. But once you get your card in the mail, you can actually activate it right away. If you want to add money to your Venmo balance because it's at 0, you can do that from this page too. You can also set up balance reloads. So if you get to a certain amount, it'll just automatically do that for you. And you can also even set up alerts for having a low balance. Now you could technically set up direct deposit with this, so your money just goes in here directly. Now Venmo does also have card offers, so using their debit card can actually save you money at different locations. So you can hit explore all. So as an example, you can get 10% off at Adidas, as well as so many other retail stores. Now the Venmo debit card is entirely free for you, so it doesn't actually cost you anything to have the debit card. It doesn't cost you anything to keep a balance on there, so you can be at 0 and not have any charge on there. So something to keep in mind. So you can see the balance reload section is toggled off, so you can turn that on if if you wanted to. You can see your card number. You can actually even change your PIN directly in the app. You can also disable the card temporarily if you, let's say, lost it or just don't want to use it for a little while. And then you can also get the routing and account number if you wanted to go ahead and do direct deposit. Now, another feature with the Venmo debit card is you can actually add this to your Apple Pay or your Google Pay account once the card has come in physically in the mail, and use it directly with your wallet digitally. And from this section, you're going to actually see where it says the Venmo credit card. Now you can actually see right here too, it says no impact to your credit bureau score if declined. Also, keep in mind though, that means if you do get accepted, it will go through and affect your credit score. Now you can see right over here, it says explore the colorful world of the Venmo credit card. So we're gonna go over some of the benefits here today. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the benefits that you get. Now, first and foremost, you can pay friends without any fees. So unlike any other credit card that you have, if you use a credit card on Venmo and send it to other people, that will charge you a 3% fee, where if you have the Venmo credit card, it will charge you no fee. And then from this icon, you can actually see here, you can actually get your QR code imprinted on your credit card as well, which is honestly really cool because that can help you go ahead and split bills with other people by quickly bringing out your credit card and having everybody Venmo you while you pay for the actual purchases. Now you can see over here, they do also do a cash back as well. You can automatically earn 3% on eligible purchases in your top categories, 2% on the next, and then 1% on all other eligible purchases. So there are some kind of ebbs and flows when it comes to the amount that you can get back, but there is an option to get up to 3% back on your money. Now you can see right over here, it is easy to split up purchases with your friends, which makes it really nice. And then like we talked about, you get that QR code directly on your credit card, which I think is also honestly pretty cool. And then they have different color designs if that's a big deal for you as well. And then you can go ahead and apply directly in the Venmo app. So obviously if you don't have Venmo just yet, you do need to download the app, which you could do with a link down below. But if you already have Venmo, you can go to that same page we just saw. So next up, we're gonna actually be talking about crypto here on Venmo. So here back on the main page, we're gonna tap over to the crypto tab at the very bottom. And it's gonna take us to a page that looks like this. So just some quick breakdown on crypto. So one nice thing they do have here is if you do need to learn a little bit more about crypto, there are sections here that you can go through and learn. Of course, you can do more just online as well. So there are only the 4 options when it comes to purchasing as of this recording. Second, these are not actual crypto wallets. So keep that in mind when it comes to the fact that you can't actually transfer your Bitcoin to another wallet if you wanted to. You had to sell directly on Venmo. Next off is if you actually click into the section here, you're going to be able to see the price of Bitcoin. You can buy it at any time. Which is of course important. You can see right over here the price alerts. If you tab over, you can choose different price alerts, whether it's 5 or 10%. But the other really important thing is if we click on buy here, let's go ahead and say that we want to buy it as low as that $1. So once we put in that $1, this is what it's going to bring up for us, and this is what we want to pay attention to. It's going to show you how much you're buying, the exchange rate, the price. So you can see right over here, the transaction fee is going to be 49 cents to buy $1 worth of Bitcoin. So that is going to be pretty expensive when it comes to being able to go through that process. Now, the more you're buying, the less that fee is going to be overall. So we can go ahead and show you here. So if you actually buy, let's say $100 worth, you can see that transaction fee is now only $2.49 in comparison to the $100. So it's a lot smaller percentage of a fee, but it is nonetheless going to be a pretty expensive fee. So just keep that in mind when buying, even especially as low as $1. A lot of that's going to be going towards the actual fee. Now you can actually change out the bank that you have that you're buying from. So you can choose the different banks. You can even add a different bank if you don't have it on file from the account that you want to pull money to. And then once everything looks good, you can click on buy Bitcoin and then it'll be in your account. But again, it is only going to be strictly on Venmo, so you cannot transfer that out. Same thing is going to apply for Ethereum, Litecoin, and then Bitcoin Cash as well. We're going to be back here on the main page of Venmo, and we're going to now talk about the privacy settings. So we're going to go to our Me settings right over here, and we're going to click on the gear shift icon on the top right again. And from this section here, we're going to click on privacy now. And from privacy, this is going to be for our default settings. So we can actually default it to private, where only the sender and receiver are visible when it comes to sending or receiving money. You could do the friends, where it's visible to senders, recipients, and their Venmo friends, so on both sides. And then public is available for everybody in the world to see, essentially. So whichever option you want, you can go ahead and do that with. And you can also change it individually per transaction that you do if you wanted to. But personally, I like to keep mine in the private setting and then just change that to friends or public if need be. And from here, of course, you can actually see blocked users. You can also see your friends list and remove people if needed to as well. and then going through and learning more about privacy if you needed to at the very top over here. Now, if we wanted to check out the tax documents on our Venmo account, we can go back one step here, and then we can go ahead and see towards the very bottom where it says tax. So once we scroll down just a little bit, you can now see where it says tax documents. If we click on here, it's going to tell you and provide you any tax documents that you do require to receive based off of the IRS. You can go by year if you tap over here and see if there's any for any given year for yourself. Now, keeping in mind, there are some requirements that Venmo will need to be able to hit a certain threshold to be able to provide one for you. If for some reason you're supposed to get one and don't, I would definitely contact Venmo directly to see why that's the case. So here we are on the main page of our Venmo account, and we want to go ahead and cash a check that we've received. And so what we want to do is actually go to the bottom right on the Me profile. And then from this section here, we're going to see where it says Venmo balance and where it says manage. We're going to tap over on manage. And then from here, you can see at the very bottom option, it says cash a check. So we're going to tap over here, and it's going to tell us some things we need to know when it comes to cashing a check. We need to confirm our information. We need to be able to scan the check front and back, and then we need to enter in the amount and the cash out details. So if we click on get started, it's going to take us to those steps. So here it's going to ask you to confirm some information if this is your first time going through and actually cashing out a check. So we can hit accept. Next up, it's going to be terms and conditions. Click accept here, and you can see confirm your identity to start cashing checks. You do need to put in a date of birth, your social security number, confirming the social security number and your phone number. Once you do that, you can click agree and continue. So we went ahead and plugged in all that information. You can see here we've confirmed your identity. You can now cash checks online with Venmo. So we're going to click on done. So here we're just going to go ahead and plug in the amount that we have on the check. We take a photo of the front and we take a photo of the back, and then that way we can go ahead and deposit that check into our Venmo account. So now we're back here on the main page of our Venmo account. And we've gone through quite a few different features and settings here on the app itself. We talked about the feed here where you can see people's transactions, you can see your transactions, you can heart and comment things. You could even do that on other people's posts as well too. But one thing we really want to talk about too is this QR code up here at the top right hand side. So if we actually tap over here, if we're around other people that we know, we can actually tap here and scan their QR code when it comes to Venmo to go ahead and load up their account right away. So you could see it's currently on the scan code section. So if we swipe over to the Venmo Me option, this is actually going to bring up your user tag as well as your QR code for people. So they can go ahead and do that scan code right away if you guys are in person. You can also share that code at the bottom right. You can see over here, or you can email it or even print this out if you're wanting to use it for like something where people are donating to you, or if you're running a small business, you can actually have this printed out and it looks really nice. And then the last option here is show to pay. And this right over here is for you to be able to pay a business. So this makes it really great for small business owners who want to be able to receive money from Venmo. So that way people can go ahead and just click on show to pay, and the companies can go ahead and scan your QR code or the barcode for them to easily receive that money from you. Now, I want you to keep on learning how to use Venmo as a beginner guide by checking out my video right over here on screen to learn how to add your Venmo account directly onto Amazon.com.